Okay, part two is now in session, and the next day, Abel rushes to get the blue boy who already won the blue ribbon, and then all of a sudden he gets ready for the grand champion boar competition. And during the preparations, the owner of Esmeralda, the female pig named Blue Boy, takes Esmeralda out to weigh her, and then Blue Boy all of a sudden lies down and he doesn't want to get up. And then Abel manages to get Blue Boy out of the judging ring, but in the middle of the judging, Blue Boy lies down again and he'll end up losing the competition. And if he doesn't get back up at the last minute, Blue and at the last minute, Blue Boy sees Esmeralda in the stands and the pigs talk to each other, and then he ends up getting back up, and he then he ends up winning and declared the judges declared Blue Boy the winner, and Abel and his family had rejoiced. And that night, which is the last night of the fair, Margie goes to meet Pat, and Wayne goes to meet Emily, and Abel reads Pat's newspaper article about Melissa winning the pickle and mince meat competition. And it says that Hippensaddle, the judge who couldn't stop eating the mincemeat, had delirium tremens afterwards, presumably the brandy, and she demands that Abel to take her out to see the fair, and then they go see the dance band, and Mr. Hamptassel is at the next table getting drunk, and he proceeds to follow Melissa and Abel around the Ridgeway, much to Abel's annoyance. And while everyone was uh, weighing at while Wayne was weighing at the stage door for Emily, McGee thanks Wayne for helping him with the song and mentions that Emily will be singing the song next night in Chicago. And he was surprised to hear from McGee that Emily is leaving for Chicago that night because she didn't want to tell him. And Emily comes and Wayne tries to convince her to go home with the farm rather than to go to Chicago with the band. And she says no and, and starts to confess something to Wayne, but then she ends up running away crying. And McGee explains to Wayne that Emily is already married, although the marriage is unhappy, and that Emily didn't want to tell Wayne and spoil everything. They both got they both got drunk together and stumbled back to the Frakes camp. And at the same time, Pat learns he's being offered a new job writing his own syndicated column, and the boss wants to meet him with him in Chicago. And that night about the job, Pat protests that he has Margie waiting for him, but Pat is told that he doesn't want to leave immediately to Chicago for the meeting. He won't get the job and he'll be through. And Margie ends up waiting all night by the roller coaster for Pat, who never showed up because he went to Chicago. And then she waits until the midway begins shutting down and packing up, and then she walks away sadly, assuming that Pat must have decided to brush her off. And the Frake family packs up and drives back home, and Wayne and Margie are both heartbroken. And the next day, Abel tries to collect on the bet with Mr. Miller. But Mr. Miller notices Wayne and Margie don't look like they had a good time, which would be which would mean Abel had lost the bet, and Wayne leaves in a hurry while Mr. Miller asks the listless Margie if she had a good time at the fair. Before she can reply, the phone rings and she answers it, and it was Pat, who got the columnist job, and calling from nearby town to ask her to marry him and come with him to Chicago. She accepts it and excitedly tells Mr. Miller that she had a wonderful time and it was the best fair ever. And then Abel collects his $5 and she runs up to meet Pat, and then they embrace in the middle of the road, and Wayne, now reunited with his girlfriend Eleanor, and they all drive happily. They both drive happily, hugging Eleanor, and the grand night for singing plays, and that's basically what the plot is for the entire film. What do I think about this film, guys? This is a really good movie in my opinion. It's a classic. I mean, this is one of my favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein films of all time. The music in it is so good, and the plot I thought was very excellent. I actually like Gene Crane's character, Margie Flake. She's a sweet and warm-hearted person. She's a very sweet and warm-hearted person. And Pat Gilbert was great. I thought everybody was great. And the jokes were funny, like the one scene where Blue Boy didn't want to get up and he meets Esmeralda, the pig. I thought that was pretty funny. And yeah, the ending was very believable as well. At first they were heartbroken because the fair was over, but then at the end, Pat and Margie embraced in the middle of the road, and because they are now getting married, and Wayne reunites with Eleanor. Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. What else? The music in it is very lovely. Like, there's so many good songs. It might as well be spring. That's for me. A grand night for singing, etc. And I thought the actors and actresses did a really good job with their roles. And it's one of my favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein films of all time, like I said. And Walter Lang did a really good job directing this film. I remember watching this film for the first time, and I remember liking this film. I thought it was a really great classic. What else? Yeah, I thought everything was good. The plot was, I thought, was interesting. The characters were likable and delightful, and so was the songs and music, and the director did a good job. So yeah, I even like Gene Crane's character named Margie Flake. She was a very sweet person. So yeah, I thought everything about this movie was a great classic. So above all, do I have anything negative to say about this film? No, I don't have anything negative to say about this film. So for my final rating for State Fair, I give this film a 7 out of 7. Outstanding film. Well, that was my review on Stateville from 1945. Alright guys, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to me. And thank you so much for watching this video. This is Jonathan, the Disney and the Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and I'll see you guys next time on my next video. And I'll see you guys later.